You learned something incredible on Monday. By Friday, it's gone. Completely erased. You're not stupid, your brain is actually working exactly as designed. Today, we're counting down the 10 most mind-bending reasons why you forget 90% of what you learn within just 1 week. And stick around, because the number 1 reason will completely change how you study forever. Coming in at 10, the forgetting curve is real, and it destroys information fast. This isn't some internet myth, it's a psychological principle discovered by Hermann Ebbinghaus way back in 1885. He memorized nonsense syllables and measured how quickly he forgot them. Within 1 hour, he'd already lost 50% of what he learned. Within a day, about 70% was gone. Within a week, about 90% vanished completely. This curve applies to everything from vocabulary to historical dates to last night's lecture. The brutal truth? Your brain treats most new information like spam unless you actively fight back. Coming in at 9, your brain prioritizes survival over spelling. Evolution didn't equip your mind to remember random facts, it built your brain to detect danger, find food, and remember where home is. When you learn something useless for survival, like the capital of Paraguay, your hippocampus doesn't treat it as urgent. It gets filed away in long-term storage, but without repeated rehearsal, the neural pathway weakens fast. Meanwhile, if you nearly step into traffic, that memory burns into your brain forever. Your brain isn't broken, it's just following ancient programming that worked perfectly for hunter-gatherers. Coming in at 8, passive learning is almost useless. Watching a YouTube video, reading a textbook, or sitting in a lecture feels like learning, but your brain isn't actually building strong memories. Studies show that passive consumption creates weak, shallow encoding. You need active retrieval, testing yourself, writing from memory, teaching someone else, solving problems. When you passively watch, your brain doesn't struggle. And struggle is where growth happens. The more effortful the learning, the stronger the memory trace. This is why cramming the night before an exam feels productive but doesn't stick. Coming in at 7, sleep deprivation sabotages memory consolidation. Your brain doesn't permanently store memories while you're awake. During sleep, especially REM and deep sleep stages, your brain replays the day's events and solidifies them into long-term storage. Skip sleep, and that consolidation process never happens. Research from UC Berkeley shows that even 1 night of sleep deprivation reduces memory formation by 40%. Students who pull all-nighters learn the material but can't remember it because their brains never got the chance to process and lock it in. No matter how hard you cram, without sleep, it's all vanishing. Coming in at 6, your brain assumes repetition means safety, not importance. If you see information once in a different context, your brain flags it as important. But if you see the exact same information repeatedly in the exact same way, like rereading the same paragraph 3 times, your brain gets bored. It thinks, we've seen this already, it's safe, and actually weakens the memory. This is called the repetition effect, and it's why rereading lecture notes does almost nothing. Your brain confuses familiarity with learning. You recognize the words, so it feels like you know them, but recognition and recall are completely different. Coming in at 5, interference destroys recent memories. When you learn similar information in quick succession, old memories interfere with new ones. Learn Spanish, then French, then Italian, and the languages blur together. This is called proactive interference when old knowledge blocks new learning, and retroactive interference when new knowledge overwrites old. Your brain confuses the material because it looks too similar. This is why cramming multiple subjects in one sitting is disastrous, your brain can't distinguish between them. You're literally writing over your own memories with each new fact you try to cram in. Coming in at 4, meaning is everything, and most learning has none. Your brain remembers facts that connect to existing knowledge and things that matter emotionally. If you learn something in isolation with no context, your brain has nowhere to file it. It's like trying to file a document without a folder. Learning the year the Treaty of Westphalia was signed means nothing unless you know what it was, why it mattered, and how it changed the world. Neuroscientist James McClelland found that people who learn isolated facts forget them fast, but when facts are woven into a meaningful narrative, they stick for years. Context is everything. Coming in at 3, emotion creates memory anchors your brain won't release. This is the emotional memory effect, and it's powerful. Remember exactly where you were on September 11th? What you ate for breakfast? Probably not. But you remember 9/11 itself with crystal clarity. Emotionally charged events get burned into memory through the amygdala, your brain's emotional center. When you study, your information is bland and emotionally neutral. It gets forgotten. But if you connect information to something surprising, funny, terrifying, or personally meaningful, your brain treats it as vital. A history teacher who makes you emotionally invested in the story beats one who rattles off dates. Coming in at 2, your brain thinks it knows things better than it actually does. This is the illusion of competence. After studying something once, your brain feels fluent with it. You recognize the information when you see it again. This feels like remembering, but it's not. Psychologist John Dunlosky found that students who use recognition-based study techniques vastly overestimate how much they'll remember. You see the answer and think, yeah, I knew that, even though you couldn't have produced that answer from scratch. Your brain is lying to you about your own learning. You feel confident, so you move on, and a week later, the information is gone. Coming in at 1, your brain is literally pruning synapses you don't reinforce. This is the actual mechanism of forgetting, and it's wild. Memories are stored in connections between neurons called synapses. When you learn something new, these synapses strengthen. But here's the brutal part: if you don't use that memory within days, your brain actually destroys those synapses. It's not that the memory gets filed away badly, it's that the physical pathway literally disappears. Your brain is being metabolically efficient, recycling the neural real estate for new information. Unless you rehearse the memory and rebuild those connections, they're gone forever. Within 1 week, synapses supporting weak memories are completely pruned away. You're not forgetting, you're literally rewiring. So there it is, 10 reasons your brain is a forgetting machine. But here's the good news: knowing this changes everything. Space out your study. Test yourself. Connect information to meaning and emotion. Sleep. And repeat, repeat, repeat. Your brain will remember. If you found this mind-blowing, hit like and subscribe for more neuroscience that'll make you rethink everything. What's the most important thing you've forgotten? Drop it in the comments.